911, what's your emergency?
Hello? Hi. So, I just broke into a house and killed a man.
Excuse me, could you repeat that, sir? What is your name, sir?
Oh, my name? It's Jack. And I just killed a man. Can you believe that?
Your full name. Where are you, sir? What's the address?
I'm not going to tell you. Well, I'm not going to tell you that until I'm done.
Done? Done with what, sir?
Well, the man I killed had a family, a wife, and a child. I've tied them up for now.
Sir, please tell me your address. There's a wife and a child. Track the phone. Hello, sir, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. The mother keeps begging me not to hurt her child. But I don't get it. Why does she not understand that in this situation, she can't tell me what to do?
Sir. Sir, please calm down. Sir?
Ah, yes?
What happened just now?
Oh, nothing. I just stabbed the woman in the leg.
You stabbed her?
Yes, I stabbed her. She's bleeding a lot right now, just like when I stabbed her husband to death.
Sir, the act that you have just committed is wrong. You know that.
Don't tell me about what's right and wrong.
Okay, sir? Sir, please calm down.
It's okay, dear. Help will be here soon.
Help? Not until I'm done.
Sir, are you still there? What is happening, sir? Please do not hurt the family.
I'm here. Hello. I just didn't know how much fun this would be.
Please stop! I beg of you!
Hello? Operator? Hello?
Yes?
Did you know that stabbing a person is very relaxing? The feeling of the knife cutting into their flesh, the sound, especially the moment when you feel the life slowly draining out of their body. Very therapeutic.
Sir, who did you stab?
Why, weren't you listening? The man I killed before. Don't worry. The woman and child, they're still alive.
Sir, where is your location?
You're not listening. I told you. I'm not going to tell you that.
Did you track the caller?
No, it's a burner phone. It will take some more time.
Hurry it up. A woman and child may be in danger. Hello, sir, are you there?
Yes, hello. I'm here.
Why did you kill the man?
Why did I kill him? Well, he was planning to kill me, so I killed him first.
He was going to kill you?
Yes, of course. He was going to kill me. He wanted to hurt me.
Sir, calm down. How do you know he was going to hurt you?
He wanted to kill me. He did. He wanted to kill me. He wanted to kill me. He wanted to kill me. He wanted me. Just like everyone. They all want me dead. They will.
Sir, please calm down. No one wants to hurt you. The assailant seems to be showing symptoms of a mental illness and hallucinations.
What? What are you looking at? Oh, you think I'm useless, eh? A coward? Oh, I will show you.
I beg of you!
Oh, you have pretty hands. Let me make them ugly for you.
Sir, what is happening, sir? Sir, Please stop right now. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Calm down, sir, and tell me what is happening.
Well, I made the woman scream and she passed out. Hey, you! Wake the fuck up!
Sir, please leave the family alone.
What? And Miss Oliphant? No way! She looks down on me. I'll show her. I'll show everyone who looks down on me.
Sir, are you there? Sir? Sir, what is happening?
Oh, I woke the woman up.
You woke the woman up?
Yeah. Yes, I splashed water on her. Hey, how would one feel if their child were killed right in front of their eyes?
Sir, do not. I repeat, do not harm the child.
Oh, you trying to stop me only makes me want to do it more.
Ah! No, stop! Please stop! I beg of you, stop! Kill me instead! But please, don't hurt my baby!
Okay, yes, if you insist, then I'll keep him alive. For now.
Sir,
The team has arrived. They're going in.
how many officers are there?
Just 2.
Tell them to be careful, the man is armed. Hello, sir, are you there?
We have lost all contact with the team.
Hello, sir?
Well, that wasn't nice at all. Sending officers already? I thought we were having a great time here.
Sir, I want you to tell me what happened to those officers. Sir.
When the police arrived, it was the most gruesome scene that they had ever witnessed. 4 bodies were removed from the crime scene. Only the child survived. The police described the crime scene as truly horrifying. There was blood everywhere. Jack Siller had ripped into the bodies of his victims. Eyes, fingers, toes, and all sorts of internal organs had been found scattered all over the crime scene. Siller explained that he was decorating the house. The heads of all the victims were smashed and it was hard to tell who was whom. The police managed to identify the victims only by their ID cards, which were found upon searching the house. It was reported that one of the victims was nailed to the wall while she was still alive. It was the most gruesome scene in human history. Jack Siller managed to escape from the crime scene before the police got there. About a month later, the police received a call about an assailant at a bar who had severely injured a person. The police arrived and took the assailant into custody. The assailant was found to be none other than Jack Siller, and he was charged with the crime of assault. Upon further investigation, the police found a series of criminal records and started a full investigation. The police conducted a full search of Silver's house, during which they found hair wrapped separately in plastic bags. The police conducted a DNA test on the hair samples, and they were confirmed to be from the victims of the mass murder. It took about 3 months for Jack to finally confess his crimes. During the questioning, Jack Siller said that he'd nailed the women to the wall because women are pretty, and she would have made a great decoration. He said that he removed the eyes from his victims because they were looking down on him. He was later sentenced to the death penalty. However, his execution was permanently stayed as Jack Siller showed symptoms of insanity and was moved to a mental institution where he was diagnosed with PTSD and schizophrenia. Last night, at around 2:30 a.m., I was woken up by a phone call. I assumed it was spam. Maybe my ex-girlfriend calling me to say something stupid, and instinctively reached over to decline the call. My tired brain didn't even bother seeing who it was as I hung it up and went back to sleep. I got another call around 5 minutes later. I groaned and reached to decline it again, but this time I saw who was calling me. 911? Why was 911 calling me? I checked the time. It was 2:35. A call from the police at 2:35? Confused, I answered the call. "Hello?" I asked. I didn't hear anything at first. "Hello?" I asked again. "Hi," a raspy voice replied. This would have been the part where I threw my phone across the bed, but for whatever reason I decided to keep talking. "Who is this?" I said, forgetting for a second that it was obvious. "Didn't the number appear when I called? It's the police, you fucking idiot." I remembered trying to decline the call around this point, but the button didn't work. "What the hell?" I muttered to myself, hearing the person on the other end laugh to himself. "Idiot. You're an idiot," the voice quietly said. Irritated, I asked, "You don't sound like an operator." "Oh, I'm an operator, all right," the voice dryly hissed. "But not one that's willing to kiss your ass anymore." This was confusing. "What are you talking about?" I said, trying to hang up the call again. But it wouldn't even let me power off my phone anymore. I was being forced to listening to some croaky voice spout a bunch of nonsense. The voice seemed to ignore my previous question and kept talking. "I am an operator, and I can do everything an operator can do, and more." The voice chuckled to himself again before he kept going. "I'm sorry for messing up your good night's sleep, but you need to know about something." What the fuck? I realized that whoever I was talking to, probably part of the police, and stopped myself at the last second. "What should I know about you?" There was another pause before the operator began talking again. "Before I ask anything, do you remember everyone who called you today?" "Besides you, nobody called me today. Why do you ask?" The operator breathed what sounded like a sigh of relief, but his voice made it hard to hear exactly what it was. "Good. That means our plan is still working. You're not the only one who picked up so far," the operator said. "Plus, the simple fact that you picked up pretty much forces you to go through with what we have planned." I managed to ask, "What do you mean?" before I was interrupted by multiple notifications. I had received 4 or so text messages, all from different numbers. I opened up one of the messages without thinking. It was a house. The image looked like it was taken in the middle of the night. The sky was dark and none of the windows in the house had any light in them. It didn't look like any of the houses in my neighborhood, not even any houses I recognized from anywhere nearby. I opened up the other 3 texts. They all showed a similar image, an image of someone's house, taken in the middle of the night. "What is this?" I asked. "I already said. You aren't the first one who received a call like this. These are all from the past 4 months, the operator replied. His gravelly voice seemed ominously quieter than before. "You're looking at dead people's houses." I stayed quiet for a bit before replying, "What?" "You're looking at dead people's houses. All of these people lost the game, so we killed them." "You're not serious, are you?" The operator laughed again. I hated his laugh. His scratchy, mocking laugh so much. "You idiot. Of course we're serious. Do you want to see the bodies?" No, I don't, I replied. "Coward. Fine, you don't doubt that I'm a 911 operator, right?" "What kind of operator talks about killing people in some game? You're not an operator. You're a maniac." I found myself shouting suddenly. "What the fuck do you want from me? Why did you call me?" Ugh. "Fine. I confess. I may or may not be a 911 operator. There. Are you happy now?" "Please, leave me alone. Hang up the phone. Don't call back. I'll call the police on you, even if you're already an operator." The operator started cackling, and he kept cackling for way too long. "Oh, you idiot! You blind idiot! What police?" And that's when he hung up. I struggled to fall back asleep for a bit, especially when I got another text message from one of the phone numbers that was basically a recording of the whole conversation. The message claimed that he said something that gave it away. but after listening to it quite a few times, I still can't find what he's talking about. But I'm scared. From what I've heard, 911 operators can track calls.
I was living in Berlin in Germany, and my boyfriend at that time lived about 5 hours drive away. So I had planned to go and see him, like every fortnight for the weekend, and I used the carpooling site BlaBlaCar, which I had used many times before this. I see that a young man is heading down that way and that there's already one seat taken by another girl, so I reserve my seat and wait for this person to come and fetch me. We meet up at the spot that he agreed to, and he explains to me that the other girl had to cancel last minute, which is totally fine, I suppose. Odd, but I mean, it can happen. Anyway, I jump in. The driver, Ben, seems pretty nice, talkative. Just before leaving Berlin, too, he turns to me and explains that he's forgotten his driver's license at home and that we must go and fetch it. Which is already a bit of a pain because it's on the other side of town and Berlin is big. And let's be honest too, you know that you're going away for the whole weekend and that you have a really big journey and you forget your license? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. We get to his and he parks and turns to me and says, "Would you like to come in with me and visit my place?" I was like, no thank you. And after about 5 minutes, off we go. He's talking away and all of a sudden starts touching my thigh and explains that he's a personal trainer and also a massager, and I was like, good for you, guy. I made it quite clear, though, that I was heading to my boyfriend's and that I was not comfortable. He continues touching my hands, my thighs, and my neck, and at that point, I was sort of like, should I get out? I mean, I am on a motorway, already about 2 hours away from Berlin, and it's traffic jammed. And so, unfortunately, 5 hours ended up being like 7 hours. My plan was to pretend that I was asleep. I thought that way I don't have to interact with him and he might just leave me alone. Thing is, I really fell asleep, and when I wake up, I realize that I am in the middle of nowhere, like on tiny roads in the middle of a forest, and the guy turns to me and says, "You know, if I wanted to, I could kidnap you and take you into the woods, right?" I played tough and I said, "You don't scare me. I'm planned for all situations." He didn't seem to take any notice, and my boyfriend rang me at that point. I explained everything, and I kept him posted. So, as we come out of these woods, he decides that it's now time to eat, so we lose another 45 minutes while he does his own thing. I basically tell him at this point too that I'm fed up and I want no more stops, and he tells me that he's tired and that in order to do so and keep himself awake, I must massage him. I felt totally stuck, so I briefly touched his neck as in to say, "Now move." Eventually we arrived finally, and my boyfriend was not there waiting for me because I didn't want him to get into a fight. But I got out of the car quickly, and I reported him to the carpooling site, and he's now been banned. I really hope too that this never happens to anyone else because, let me tell you, while I put up a pretty tough exterior, I was definitely panicking on the inside.
When I was in high school, I had a stalker. Here's the story. I was 16 years old and we had met on Facebook. He went to a school nearby and we decided to meet up for a movie. We had a really great time together and we actually ended up dating. The first time that he came to my parents' house, he had an Anchor monitor on for house arrest, and he wouldn't tell anyone why. And since he was a minor, we couldn't find out. Now, my parents obviously didn't allow us to hang out, so we had to hang out at his house or at around town at the YMCA camp. I was rebellious and naive. Things started to get weird when I noticed his family was pretty odd. One day while we were having sex in his bedroom, I saw his father looking through the blinds. I screamed and called him out for it, and his dad ran off. He told me that his dad was into redheads and he just liked to watch us. I went to leave and his mom was doing crack in the kitchen, so yeah, I decided it was time to break up. This is when it got bad. He actually started crying and he told me that he's in cancer treatment and that's why he needs me, that he doesn't have long to live, blah blah blah. I actually believed him and I told him we could be friends. And this is when the stalking began. He switched schools to my high school, but he never went to class. He would just stand outside of my classroom looking inside until it was passing period. Whenever I would leave class, he wouldn't address me. He would always just follow about 10 to 15 feet behind me to my next period and just stand outside the classroom again. I was too intimidated to say something to him. He was 6'4" and kind of a heavy-set guy, so I kind of just let it happen for weeks. It started to progress to where he would follow me home every day. He would get on the same exact bus as me and walk 10 to 15 feet behind me all the way to my house. He would stand outside just staring up at the windows until around the time my parents got home, and then he would just leave. I finally had enough and I told him to screw off and leave me alone. I told him that we could no longer be friends or even acquaintances and to just forget about me. However, that only escalated things way further. I started getting about 150 calls a night. Half of them were screaming death threats and in detailed torture methods that he wanted to do to me, and the other half were him singing love songs that he wrote on his guitar. Every time I blocked his number, he seemed to just magically get a new one and leave even more messages. I woke up one day to see that overnight, he had left me one of those singing, dancing snowmen on my porch. He had stabbed it in the head and the knife was still sticking out. He covered it in his liquid deodorant that I had previously mentioned liking the smell of, and I noticed there was a hole where the little song recording device was. When I pressed the hand, it wasn't the regular Frosty the Snowman that usually played. It was his own voice saying eerily,
"I'm going to have you forever. I'm never going to let you be."
I was absolutely done at this point, and I told my parents, who then contacted the school. They suspended him from school, but he still waited at my bus stop every day and also walked to my home with me. One day he actually ran at me like he was going to tackle me or something. When I tensed up for the impact, he stopped and hugged me. It wasn't a regular hug though. It was like he was trying to crush me. I was 5'1" and about 90 pounds at the time, and he actually ended up cracking one of my ribs. I cried, and he started crying too, before then running off. He left me a voicemail where he apologized in song. This one night is the night that I'll never forget, and it's actually the sole reason that we got a restraining order and my dad getting a gun. I woke up one evening for no reason. I was just fully awake. I got up to go to my kitchen and go get a glass of water to relax, and in the reflection of my fridge, I saw movement in my backyard. I couldn't really see well because it was so dark outside and so light inside, so I went to the back sliding glass door to get a better look. When I got a little closer, I was met with the silhouette of a 6'4" man standing just outside the door. My stalker ex was actually in my backyard under my room at 3 a.m. He was just staring at me. I yelled and my parents got up, but he was long gone by the time my dad went outside. There happens to be a patio right outside my bedroom window that goes all the way to the ground, so it's very possible that he could have been on top of the patio looking directly into my bedroom window before. We got a restraining order granted shortly after that, and my stalker ex dropped out of school. I haven't seen him since in person, but every 6 months he makes a new Facebook and he always tries to friend request me. I just block it and report it every time. Scary stuff. Have you ever heard of that myth that if you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason at all, there's likely something looking at you? Well, maybe it's true. I don't know what he's doing now or where he went, and I really don't care to know.